Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed M.G.T.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. The December 25th operational pattern reinforces a strategy of cumulative attrition combined with selective maneuver. The liberation of Sviato-Pokrovsko and the failed Ukrainian breakout attempt in the central sector indicate increasing strain on Ukrainian defensive cohesion in Donetsk. Peripheral axes continue to fix forces and degrade logistics, ISR, and sustainment. Strategically, the integration of ground advances, deep strikes, and robust air defense suggest Russian command is prioritizing endurance and escalation control, while steadily exhausting Ukrainian manpower, industrial capacity, and operational flexibility as the campaign approaches 2026.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Ogontoya, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, when you assess the December 25th briefing as a whole, what defines the operational character of today's fighting?
Today is defined by consolidation under pressure and the failure of Ukrainian counteraction. Across the theater, Russian forces maintain tempo while denying the enemy any meaningful operational reset. This is a mature phase of the campaign where encirclement, attrition, and selective maneuver are synchronized rather than sequential. What stands out most is the imbalance of initiative. Ukrainian forces attempted to regain lost positions in the central sector and failed decisively. When counter-breakout attempts are thwarted under heavy losses, it signals not only tactical failure but diminishing operational options. At the same time, advances elsewhere ensure that pressure is not localized but systemic.
Let's start in the north. What is the significance of today's engagements in Sumy?
The northern sector continues to function as a shaping front, but today's losses inflicted there were substantial. Defeating mechanized, motorized infantry, National Guard, territorial defense, and border units simultaneously tells us the Ukrainian command is spreading limited resources thin simply to hold the line. The destruction of Israeli-produced Rada radar stations is especially important. These systems support early warning and target acquisition. Removing them degrades situational awareness and artillery coordination. Coupled with the destruction of logistics warehouses, this creates a compounding effect. Units may still exist on paper, but their ability to see, react, and sustain combat is progressively stripped away.
The West remains an attritional battlefield. Why is that approach still preferred here?
Because forcing movement in dense, prepared terrain would be inefficient. Instead, Russian forces are improving forward positions while systematically destroying artillery, vehicles, and ammunition stocks. This erodes combat power without incurring unnecessary risk. Over time, erosion warfare produces results that look sudden but are actually cumulative. Once ammunition warehouses are gone and artillery numbers fall, the enemy can no longer hold even well-prepared positions. This sector is about patience and inevitability rather than speed.
The liberation of Sviato-Pokrovsko stands out. Why does this matter?
Liberating Sviato-Pokrovsko is tactically and operationally significant. It represents a decisive action rather than incremental positional improvement. This locality anchors Ukrainian defensive depth around key Donetsk urban centers. Its loss compresses Ukrainian defensive space and complicates logistics and maneuver. What matters equally is the scale of losses inflicted alongside the liberation. Ukrainian mechanized, mountain assault, motorized infantry, and marine units suffered heavy casualties, armor losses, and the destruction of depots. That combination signals not just a loss of ground, but a collapse of local defensive cohesion.
The center once again reports the heaviest fighting. Can you explain the failed Ukrainian breakout attempt near Grishino?
This is one of the most telling developments of the day. Ukrainian forces attempted to break out using the 82nd Airborne Assault Brigade, a formation typically reserved for high-priority tasks. The attempt was detected, fixed, and destroyed. From a doctrinal perspective, failed breakout attempts are costly. They expend elite manpower, expose forces to concentrated fires, and accelerate collapse inside the encirclement. The continued destruction of surrounded forces in Dmitrov, combined with the defeat of this breakout, strongly indicates that Ukrainian command is running out of viable options in central Donetsk.
Does this suggest the encirclement is nearing completion?
It suggests the encirclement is becoming irreversible.
The East continues advancing into depth. How does this support operations elsewhere?
The eastern sector fixes Ukrainian forces and denies reinforcement. Advancing through Zaporizhia and into Dnipropetrovsk regions forces the Ukrainian command to commit mechanized and assault units simply to avoid collapse. The destruction of armor and artillery, including a US-produced Paladin system, further degrades counter-battery capability. This ensures that pressure in Donetsk is not relieved by shifting forces eastward. It's a controlled advance designed to constrain choice.
The Dnieper axis appears focused on systems and logistics rather than terrain. Why is that decisive now?
Because endurance determines outcomes at this stage. Destroying electronic warfare stations, ammunition depots, and materiel stockpiles undermines operational resilience. Even intact units cannot fight effectively without coordination, fire support, and resupply. This sector shapes the rear so that success elsewhere becomes faster and less costly. It's the quiet but decisive work of dismantling sustainment.
Air defense activity today was intense. How does that fit into the campaign?
Air defense preserves momentum. Intercepting guided bombs, HIMARS rockets, and hundreds of UAVs protects maneuver forces and logistics hubs. At the same time, strikes against airfields, ports, drone production sites, and energy infrastructure reduce the enemy's ability to regenerate combat power. This balance of offense and defense is what allows sustained operations without an operational pause.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to emphasize that tactically, December 25 demonstrates disciplined combined arms execution across all axes, highlighted by the liberation of Sviato-Pokrovsko and the decisive defeat of a Ukrainian breakout attempt in central Donetsk. Strategically, these developments suggest Ukrainian operational endurance is entering a critical phase. Encirclement pressure, compounded by logistics and ISR degradation on peripheral fronts, is steadily narrowing Ukrainian command options. As the campaign moves forward, outcomes are increasingly shaped by cumulative exhaustion rather than dramatic maneuver.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive frontline updates from commanders in theater.